We have some special guests in the building on 12 Sports Locker Room. Former Cardinals quarterback Brett Hundley joining us, and then former Cardinals linebacker Devon Kennard in studio. Guys, how do you process a game like this? How does it happen, and who's responsible for what we saw here today?
I just think when you get in a game like this, so much happened in the beginning of the game that it just almost spiraled out of control, and then it's hard to gather from there. So this was a tough one for Arizona, and you just got to scratch it and keep it pushing.
DK, is this more on coaching or players? Guys, were they not ready? What'd you see?
I think it's a combination of both, but I boil it down to the defense, which has usually been the one thing that has been consistent, wasn't consistent today. What they allowed the Seahawks to do was like unacceptable all the way around. So that was a problem. And then protecting Jacoby, that was an issue for sure.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of that defense. Yeah, listen, the Seahawks, they jumped on them quick. I mean,
they smelled blood in the water and attacked.
DK, to take us through some of these, what did you see?
I mean, they was just having their day-to-day. I think we really missed Mac Wilson out there. I mean, I know his ribs are hurt and everything, so hopefully he's back sooner than later. But I think he was a missing piece because that's kind of been the spark plug for the defense.
Sure.
And I think they came out flat a little bit defensively, coming from Cowboys game, Monday Night Football, a good win, and got punched in the mouth. And it took them to the second half. They started to play a little bit better ball, but it was too little, too late.
It was a big hole to come out of.
Yeah, and one thing to speak on there too is like we said, Jacoby got hit 5 times, sacked 5 times. That was in the first half that happened. So it's not like that. I mean, we're talking a complete game, but that was in the first half, and by the second quarter, it was 35-0.
Right.
Like, what? 8 minutes left. What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, just all the pressure he was under. He had hands in his face, on the ground. Brett, how do you make decisions to take the sack? Is he not getting the ball out quick enough, or was Seattle just too much?
And honestly, this one is sometimes a little bit hard, as we can see here. I mean, you're talking the pressure collapsing, but sometimes too, it might not be just on the offensive line. This is a quarterback-driven league, so sometimes it might be on Jacoby to actually get us in the right play or make the checks or make the hot throws because they were sending some exotic pressures. But at the same time, this line was, I mean, they were getting to Jacoby quick and fast. And, man, he was taking some beats. He's going to feel it tomorrow morning.
DK, as a former defensive line, when things are rolling like that, is there just no go? And
we call that party in the backfield. we look at our chops over a day like that. 5 sacks in the first half. Man. I'm sure they were disappointed they didn't end up with 10. And, so to the Cardinals' credit, at least in the second half, they came back, but you can't get behind that much in a ball game in the NFL today. And I think they tried to play better. They came back and showed up in the second half, but they couldn't finish drives. They had that one where they went 4 downs and turned the ball over.
They had enough of that in the red zone.
That would have been a big drop in the red zone. So if those turn into touchdowns, it's a different conversation. But when you can't get over that hump, it's tough.
Guys, you guys have been a part of many different teams in the NFL. They had a handful of guys. I think it was like 7 guys leave the game with injuries. Handful of starters, handful of role players too.
In just this game, they're already short-handed.
Yeah. So what do you do now moving forward? How do you reset, reload? You're basically in playoff mode for the rest of the season. What's the mindset, Brett?
I mean, we were in playoff mode about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. But it's really the next man up in the NFL. But it is hard. I mean, when you're losing key players, you're talking first rounder. Kyler, we got a bunch of guys who are out. And so it's really, you have to come together as a team, and it's almost a team-driven thing where, look, the next man's up. I'm counting on you to make sure you're getting your job done.
And DK, they could see some other guys come, in. They're probably going to need some guys on defense. You've liked what you've seen for their defense this year, but it's going to be tough with guys in and out of the lineup.
Yeah, with the guys coming into the lineup that haven't been starters, and some, especially up front. Mac Wilson's out. A couple of D tackles are out, so that's going to be a huge problem. I would say the biggest thing is make sure that the opposing offense knows it's not Burger King. You can't just have it your way.
Right.
So they got to stop the run first, and they're going to get tried because with your middle linebacker out of the game, with your D tackles gone, now it's a position where teams are going to try to just run it down your throat to start. Hey, can they even stop the run, and then build off from there? So set the foundation where we're going to still stop the run, even with the guys we have in, and then from there you can build off of that and try to coverage and handle the coverage in the back end.
Yeah, I asked him if he had a 10-day left in him. He said he didn't want that smoke anymore. He's done. He's happy. Yeah. They might need
some bodies.
Right. Did you play corner?
I'm out.
Or safety?
Nah, don't call me.
Well, stick around, guys. We have much more with you guys here on 12 Sports Locker Room.